Anyway, what were we talking about? Yes, Skynet. So, fun fact, in communist China, the system that guess what they named the system that monitors everyone in the country?
That's kind of.
Yes, when you translate it from Chinese to English, it translates to Skynet.
That's rather unfortunate naming.
That has to be intentional.
There's gonna be one that's named Ultron or something. Like that.
Well, they wouldn't name it after too many Western names, yeah, but the Communist Party must have saw Skynet and said, we have to follow that. That's a good thing.
They're gonna like merge together.
Oh no, I heard a good joke about Communist China. Instead of looking at George Orwell as a warning, 1984, they saw 1984 as a tutorial guide.
Well, no, there is a little bit of difference, you know?
Name a difference, and I'll try to debunk it.
Well, see, if you do something wrong there, they won't kill you. They'll just give you a really hard slap in the face and then take away all of your things.
Actually, that happens in China as well.
Well, no, I'm specifically talking about China.
No, if you do something against government, you're not always killed. You're usually taken
Oh,
to
you
re-education
kill-
centers and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
prison.
exactly.
They don't kill you, but you get sent to prison, where you get locked away for several years until your organs are sold and harvested.
Sounds about right.
I see you are a good pyro. I am not one.
Well, to be fair, you are playing with a controller and still holding your own okayly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the top players on your team.
Well, actually, no. There's also one more difference. They haven't quite perfected the whole double speak thing yet.
You are correct. There is still some dissent.
See, here's the difference. They haven't quite mastered all of the things that Brave Brother did.
Yeah,
They're
that's
only
why-
trying
yeah,
to
that's
right
why,
now.
That's why they're trying to still do it. It's their end goal, probably 1984. Also, this is going to be the most interesting year in politics, as China had vowed to invade Taiwan before 2020.
Is it gonna
And
happen?
it's 2019. In Taiwan, we have a pseudo defense pact with them.
Yeah,
Now-
we're not very friendly with communist China if
Let
it
me
came to
finish.
Taiwan.
There, with Taiwan, there's a Taiwan Relations Act. We have an option to defend Taiwan, and we don't guarantee them, but we have the option to intervene according to how the act works. And last time China tried to was the invasion of Kinmen, and when they attacked Kinmen so fiercely, the U.S. strongly considered glassing all of China. However, they decided against it as they thought that might anger the Soviets a little. Just a little.
I don't think you realize, but you literally said something from Halo, basically.
What, glassing
Was
China?
that so? Was that
Yeah.
before the Sino-Soviet?
I think this. I'm not sure. When was the final attempt they tried invading Kinmen? Because the final attack on Taiwan from Communist China was like our attempt to invade Kinmen. Because people do forget, Taiwan technically still holds on to a portion of the mainland, and that's Kinmen Island. Just literally off the coast, within spitting distance of mainland China. And also, if you haven't noticed, a lot of their outer islands and stuff are still very KMT supportive, pro-China, being pro-calling Chinese. Because the two major political divisions of Taiwan are effectively, do we call ourselves Chinese or do we call ourselves Taiwanese?
Yeah.
That's basically the two political parties. Are we Chinese
So
or
who
are we
who
Taiwanese?
are the current two political parties of Republic of China?
The Kuomintang and the Democratic Progressives Party, if I'm correct.
Okay, so it's still the Kuomintang.
Yeah, however, the Kuomintang's had a few defections over the years. However,
Yeah, they've changed quite a bit, but
however, they are a part of the Pan Blue Coalition, which is a mix of all our pro-Chinese groups. And there's a few other left pro-Taiwanese groups that are all part of the. I think it's the Pan Green Coalition. I might be wrong there. There is I want to point out that there are actually political parties in communist China. there is the Communist Party, which is a government body as itself. And then there are other parties that participate that are not the main party, that are guaranteed certain spots in the Chinese equivalent of the Congress, I suppose. Of course, they're all rubber stamp Congress, but there's the second biggest party in Communist China, besides the Communist Party, is the Revolutionary Kuomintang Party, which is the communist version of the KMT.
Yeah, hasn't there like literally been like no bill in China that hasn't made it past Congress like ever?
Yeah, nothing's ever failed.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think there's a
pretty
few
sure, like,
things that fail.
No,
Yeah,
if I
there's
thought
been
it was like the closest one to ever coming to fail was like this like gigantic dam that they were going to
well,
build.
things that go to
barely
vote.
passed.
Yeah, things that go to vote.
Well, yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like things that Congress. Hold on.
Well, there's budget proposals that get struck down by committees and other things, but nothing on the federal level ever gets taken care of. Well, the central level never gets voted down. If the bill is coming from the Communist Party itself and not one of the smaller parties, it's never been struck down. If it's been coming from the Communist Party or the Communist leader at the time. Unfortunately, China seems to be falling to a dictatorship again. Well, actually, no. They've always have. I tend to forget that the only actual communist country that wasn't a dictatorship was the Soviet Union after Khrushchev. Like, generally, the only communist country that was not a dictatorship was... Actually, no. China was briefly a good communist country. Well, as good as communism can be when you're killing people.
Yeah.
Because before, China briefly had a period where it was actually one-party rule and not one-person rule.
Okay, this right here. If I remember correctly, this is the closest that any bill in China has come to failing from Congress. It's 1,776 voted in favor, 177 voted against, and 664 abstained. If I remember correctly, that's the closest that any bill in China has come to not passing Congress after like it was approved by everyone else.
Also, there are elections in China. However, all candidates must be pre-approved by the Communist Party, but anyone can apply to run. In theory, because the current Chinese president,
the key word there. The key word there is in theory. Yeah.
Xi Jinping's father, if I'm correct, was a nationalist. Something like that. A member of the KMT. So he fell from grace and was sent to a labor camp. The Fourth Revolution. And worked his way up to being dictator of China, so...
Yeah.
No need to feel sorry for the guy.
Yeah.
Considering he's began the genocide against Christians and Catholics and Muslims. Because before it was only Falun Gong being genocided. Now it's all religions are getting equally murdered.
Quality.
I just got uno'd.
Yeah, I'd like to say that if it wasn't for North Korea, China would be the worst place on Earth, or now they're only second. Because there's even the Middle East, you have more freedoms in the Middle East than you would have in China. Because at least in the Middle East, men are treated okayly. In China, both genders are equally treated like crap.
Yeah, North Korea trumps everything.
Well, that's because North Korea can't even feed its own people worse than a starving African dictatorship.
Yeah.
Because at least a starving African dictatorship has farmland.
I want to hear a fun fact about North Korea. They're technically not even communist.
They are not. They are fascist.
Well, no, not even in that sense.
No, Juche is fascism. It's Korean nationalism, which is fascism.
Yeah. Self-reliance.
Fascism is defined as ultranationalism, and Juche is ultranationalism.
You know, dude, Juche, it literally translates to like self-reliance. And have you ever heard a less communist thing than self-reliance?
Well, no. Allow me to finish this. North Korea is, I'd like to call them red fascism, as they still believe in social programs and other things in their official ideology. It's just they believe as a whole their country should be self-reliant, like Franco's Spain.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna be in
The
this
only
match.
reason Spain ever became a democracy at this point was because the king was pro-democratic at the time Franco died.
That's lucky.
The king wanted it to be a democracy or something. And
Otherwise, we'd still be hearing about how the next Spanish Civil War just broke out.
well, to be fair, fascist Spain wasn't that bad of a place from what I understand. Save for political oppression.
Well, it was pretty bad. It just wasn't as bad as like the
Well,
rest of the fascist and
yeah, it
communist
was the one
countries
of the less
around
bad
at the
of
time.
Yeah.
It was the best non-democratic one. Yeah, it was the best authoritarian one. Maybe not even authoritarian, but you know,
Also, what do you guys
modern
think about
authoritarian.
Okay, stop